Hello, Self, Ohana, Cosmos, Infinite Universe. It's Soul Doctor Nick here. It is Friday, March 28th, 2025, around 6:45 a.m. Just after first light between that and sunrise right now. So that's why it's going to keep getting brighter and brighter as this video goes along. Sitting on the rooftop patio underneath the gazebo with a fire in front of me. So grateful for this. Like, life is fucking amazing right now. And got to sleep in today. My beloved cat in my body did not wake until my little alarm rang, and I'm so grateful for setting an alarm for first light because it's worth it. It's worth it to get up. It's worth it to get out here in the sunshine. And I'm grateful now. It used to be whenever I got woken up, I was like, oh, why am I woken up? And now it's like, I'm woken up. What to do about it? It's just a choice. And I can recognize that. I can recognize that it's just a choice. And I got my lovely green juice that I made yesterday. Celery, cucumber, apples, and lemon. And it's tasting more and more delicious now, which is fantastic. Got my lovely button up here. I just went to my best friend's birthday dinner recently. One second. And this is magic mirror work. So, for me, by me, through me, as me, happened to be recorded. Not for general consumption, but if you choose to, you can. They'll be playful, it'll be all over the place. I had an amazing bodywork session yesterday, an enhanced bodywork session. We were outside in the sunshine a ton yesterday, getting sunlight all over my body. I got the sunrise yesterday as well. Let's just see if the eyes are the same right now. There is some asymmetry still, but it is more symmetrical than it used to be, for sure, for both eyes. So we're just gonna see if it keeps happening. There's always a double fold in this side and a single fold for the most part in the right side for the first 2 months at least. I was doing this, and it's like, how often do you look at yourself in the mirror? I was not looking very often. And especially waking up in the morning feeling a little bit tired, feeling a little bit, just, there's almost a hungoverness that happens every morning. It takes a while to come back too. I didn't have as much of a headache today. So again, it's like, why are you talking about all this stuff, Nick? It's kind of boring. Oh yeah, this is for me, by me, through me, as me. And then noticing that I'm trying to practice more directness, firmness, transparency. And in that, I may be coming up with less kindness, almost need more space for forgiveness. But how to do that in a way where I'm not trying to crush someone else. But getting permission both from the person and from the divine to do what it is that's for me to do. And then noticing the stories that come up. So I'm just saying that because I'm noticing for myself. And then being able to ask for forgiveness too. Because there's a part of me that recognizes if I was on the other end of the way I'm being sometimes, I'm like, God, I would really piss me off. Not that that's a good barometer, so to speak, because we each have our own places, spaces, needs. There's the do unto others as you like them to do unto you. Yes and no. And it's funny, I can see my own stories, justifications going, I'm just doing it because I want them to be alive. I don't want to miss out on them and all this stuff. But when it comes down to it, there's a refinement that could happen. Now, yesterday in this beautiful bodywork session, so many things happened, but I came back again to the point of perfection, like almost like creating the infinite cosmos, going backwards and forwards through time, going from the spark of nothing, the singularity, the beginning of all time, back into the end of all time, and then in the in-between, pausing and stopping here again, realizing that literally we are creating a reality over and over and over again. And this is exactly the reality that I want to create right here, right now. And doing so is two things. One is it's such a gratitude and remembrance of where we are. Two is it's such a gratitude and remembrance of what's here. And three is everything is perfect. Everything exactly the way it is perfect. And then being able to see the story of time. And dissolving some money blocks, I was really grateful being with someone I really trust. She was able to help me see it's like, you're in the state of I want, the state of lack, the state of need, especially around money. It's like, I want more, I want this, I want that. And as distinct from a state of gratitude, I'm so grateful for what I have. I'm so grateful for what I've received. I'm so grateful for what is. And that state of gratitude, if I can just shift the perspective just a little bit, even my locus of time just a little bit, because the I want state comes from a place of everything has to move forward. And from this point forward, I want something. As distinct from that state of gratitude, if I could just move my locus forward even a few hours usually, even a few minutes, it's usually, I'm so grateful the thing just happened. And even shifting to right now for yesterday, I'm so grateful for what happened yesterday. And yet that's happening over and over and over again. I'm so grateful to be on this rooftop patio, like literally, like how abundant are we living that we get to be on this rooftop patio? How abundant are we living that we get to have this place to live, this new home, this ability to pay for body work every couple of weeks that is not covered. Although this totally could be covered in a way, it is totally a work-related expense. But that'd be a whole nother thing, invoicing, everything else like that. One of the things that, and I'm going through a bunch of littler things first, honestly, because I'm just noticing it. One of the things is the huge discovery of the pyramids, that there's giant pillars underneath connecting to almost giant blocks, like kilometers deep in the earth. None of this is 100% true and verified. Let's be clear. I don't know this to be true, but there's a part of me that's like, totally makes sense to me. I've always thought they are much more than what we were told. And it reminds me of like a giant battery, a giant antenna, a giant portal, a giant Stargate. And just feeling like I connected with that yesterday, for sure. Like there's so many sacred sites on this earth, and I look forward to playing at them. I look forward to so many of them. I'm so grateful for some dear friends that reached out recently just asking about breath work, asking about what's next, asking about guidance. I'm so grateful for my friend Sky. I've got to leave him a message after this as well. It's funny, I ended up on the table. I was getting a deep, intuitive massage. 180 degrees, facing the other direction in child's pose, holding on to my dear friend Matt's crystal, and just praying and saying thank you. And so cool. A, that it's his crystal, because I was thinking about him, and I didn't ask for it. B, that it was 180 degrees, reminded me of Jerry Sargent's story about, traveling off in the cosmos, and he came back, he realized in his king chambers he was like 180 degrees from where he left. And it was just like a reminder that, oh yeah, something actually did happen. C, and knowing that it was perfect, like there was such guidance there, such safety there. D, just recognizing, feeling there's so many almost downloads and coming in, and I'm really grateful for my dear friend trying to help me embody all the downloads, the messages I'm receiving, and then also trusting that I don't need to understand or hear them all or know them all cognitively right now. Coming out of it, having the support of my beloved, she's like, if you needed more time, that would have been okay. And I'm like, thank you, thank you, thank you. and the support in going into these spaces, because I recognize how important this is right now. This is important work that's happening right now. This is opening, this is clearing. Mm-hmm. It was really cool. We started off with stretching out the breathwork muscles. So she was guiding me through breath, like breathing as slowly as I can through a straw, in and out. And as I'm doing that, she's exploring and helping me unfold different layers of my lungs, breathing muscles that I didn't even know existed. And I'm recognizing how important that is, especially as a breathwork facilitator and a breathwork practitioner and a breathwork, the word I want to say is junkie, because I'm playing with it all the time, and then I want to get into the free diving, and then there's people that I'm learning from now, like Stig and Erwin, and they're just breath holding, free diving specialists, champions, and it's a whole different level to play with breath work and then breath holding as well, playing with the physiology. And it reminds me, it's like it's constantly hot, cold, in, out, alkalotic, acidic. And when we can play with the different polarities consciously, when I can play with the polarities consciously, and I'm coming back to I more and more often, part of it is selfish, but part of it's owning it as well. When I can play with the polarities more consciously, I can stretch the boundaries, stretch the limits in a safe way. It's a reminder, someone I really care about went into a cold lake, over probably almost like a year ago now. And it has reset her nervous system so much that sometimes I'm like, you have a better cold tolerance than I do. And that's crazy to imagine, but that's the power of even one session. That's so intentional, so chosen. And right now I recognize we've got our little squabbles here in the building, whether it's stuff like strata, neighbors, family, friends. And I'm just noticing that in this state where I have the capacity to be with it, I can say thank you. Thank you for all these challenges that we're having. And can we learn from these? Can I learn from these? Can I learn that there is so much possibility for disharmony even in the midst of a harmonious group? That parents can have completely different ideas of child raising, of what's right, what's wrong. And it's so important to embrace the differences. And as I say that, I'm like, is it so important? I think right now, because there isn't a unified tribe, and what's wrong with being tribal? What's wrong with being in the beginnings of a cult, so to speak? I almost feel like that'd be another place to swing a little bit. And perhaps I have swung that way a little bit. I'm just going to say it out loud, like, the church that I was going to when I was younger is like a giant cult. And I think that's what was so weird. It was confusing to me. It didn't make sense to me, but I was supposed to believe in it. I was supposed to believe in these people where I'm not sure they believed in themselves fully. But someone like my dad did believe in himself fully because he had his own come to Jesus moment, like from a place of poverty to feeling less than, to feeling like I've stolen something by getting on a bus without the bus fare, to feeling fed, feeling schooled, feeling supported, feeling loved. And then it's a reminder, why would I take that away from someone? That is their lived experience. And just because my lived experience is different, or there's an overwhelming lived experience that's different doesn't negate his lived experience. And I think that's the thing with any organization that gets big enough, even mine. It's small, it's new, but I've created some events, episodes, things where it feels a little out of touch. And it's not. Like, it is and it isn't. Like, having had this consult call a couple days ago where I was firm, I was direct, but I didn't check in as much. I really wanted to get through it all, and it's probably my fault for letting it build up so much. And then I did come into it with an agenda. I was like, let's actually poke and prod and serve to show this stuff. And I can notice that. It's like dropping a grenade and leaving. And I don't need to drop a grenade and leave. I also don't need to go and coddle and be apologetic. Control, subservience, humility is down here. I don't remember what is here. And I can see myself. I went from definitely controlling it. I'm being in more of humility now, being humble, bowing before it right now, and recognizing that's the part of the reason for coming back to child's pose over and over again, is just realizing, thank you, world. Thank you for giving me these chances. Thank you for giving me these opportunities. And then yesterday in the breath, just working on the hips, working on the neck, working on the side, and noticing the tightness in the jaw reflected back from one of my dear friends, just thinking all the time, controlling. And then she's helping me to see, oh, where's the playfulness? Where's the dance? Where's the looseness? And oh, when I'm actually talking over someone, my jaw tilts to the side. And that's part of the channeling, so to speak, opening this channel. And then it's funny, as the cosmos is getting recreated, all the people that I really care about, I was calling them back in. And they're here now. And they're here now, and it's exactly the way it's supposed to be. And then seeing her and seeing me is like, okay, we're exactly where we're supposed to be. Like, exactly. Oh. Ten of these sessions. Let's imagine there'll be 20 of these sessions. $10,000. More than $10,000. Let's just say $10,000. Let's leave it at that. Sometimes it's challenging to imagine how much money I'm spending on all these things. Let's go a little bit forward. I'm going to be talking with my dear friend Ellie, having our first kind of session today. And then recognizing, what kind of session do I want to make it? How do I want to go? Part of the coaching is to get into the deepness of the shame, the vulnerability, the sensual nature of life, the lover, to work on the lover archetype. Yesterday definitely worked on all of them. King, warrior, magician, lover. Definitely playing the magician. Love in being in the magic of it all. Starting to embrace my king archetype more, like the creation of the universe. Warrior, I was willing to just step in. It's like, let's just step in. Having said that, I don't feel fear in those spaces. The losing of control, the stepping into it, the relaxing, the trusting the breath, and just going off in the cosmos. I'm really grateful that that's part of my gift. And And I think I've repatterned, because I definitely had the pattern before of, oh, it's going to be dark, it's going to be challenging. And it's not that that's not possible. I remember it reminded me of my first ayahuasca journey and the depth of nothingness that happened. No thingness, like no name, no place, no space, off in the cosmos, adrift. And it's funny because as I go off into the singularity, that's what I'm doing. But now I do it from a place of, let's zip through this and just enjoy this wild, eccentric ride. Versus before, I was like, hold on, Nick, hold on, Nick, hold on, Nick, hold on, Nick, hold on, Nick. I've lost Nick. I've lost. And then just sound and vibration and light. And what a place that I've come to, and it's a place of death too. Before, holding on to life, holding on to death, holding on to life, holding on to death. And then part of it was just me seeing my dear friend, seeing me, and then guiding ourselves to open and be clear. Like, this brought me back to my own private ceremony last year, where it's like, oh my God, everything is perfect. Can you not see this? And we've got to share this, and then recognizing we don't have to share this with anyone. Like, I'm recording it for me, by me, through me, as me, and then letting go of it needing to be for anyone else. How do we play? How do we dance? How do we notice the meridians? How do we notice the chakras? How do we just breathe? How do I just breathe? How do I play? How do I dance? How do I notice the meridians? How do I notice the chakras? And just noticing. This is the magic mirror. We're catching myself when I'm using the royal we versus the I, as distinct from the I. And it's not that we isn't helpful, isn't beneficial. It's just noticing when I'm hiding. And then noticing right now, I'm just noticing this giant gazebo, and I was contemplating this. How do we create one in the future where it can actually retract? Like, can you imagine a gazebo that can retract? Oh, I totally can. I've been dreaming about all these things. I love it. I love that we've got our first iteration of this. However it needs to look next. I love that I've got this fire here. I love that even though it's cool, I've created it so that I can be comfortable enough. It's not truly comfortable, but I can be comfortable enough to be up here. 20-some minutes in, we're getting close to sunrise, if not there already. All right. Reminding myself that everything is in balance. Everyone that comes, everyone that goes, everyone that lives, everyone that dies. And I appreciate that from Dr. John Demartini. It's like every trait is conserved in perfect balance. Like, the moment that I feel like I've lost something, I've gained it, it's just come in a different form. There's so much support, and it's being able to recognize more and more the support that's there. And as I recognize, it's like, oh, this is always there. Just turning down the fire a little bit. There's a part of me that is being conscious of how much gas I'm burning. Partly because it's a propane tank, so I've got to refill it sometime. And how often do I want to refill this? How often do I want to refill this? Truly and honestly, not that often. I would like to use that giant fire pit. And it's a different kind of thing. Like, having a round bowl I can really curl up around is different. Man, how lucky am I? How lucky are we? And then loving this technology, right? I've had the microphones on, I have this gimbal. We're talking about phones and computers and everything else like that. And all this extra storage in this phone. It's kind of crazy. It is a little bonkers, actually. And I'm grateful for it. Because I use it up. Recording all these videos especially, I'm using it up right now. Got to replace the screen protector soon though, which is kind of funny. What is there to share? What is there to say? How am I screwing everything up? How am I falling behind? How am I less than? How am I lacking? How am I coming up short? Haven't finished the operator costs. Haven't finished looking at the financial stuff. Haven't made my Calendly link. Haven't asked for forgiveness. Haven't called my friend Sky. Haven't followed up in certain ways. I'm going to send some messages out, send some love out. I am, I will, I have, I do. I forgive. I'm sorry. I forgive you. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And that was a reminder. We're taking a look at that Ho'oponopono song. We've got to take a look again at how does it actually go. Is it please forgive me or I forgive you? Or something in between, or something entirely different. And it's those subtle differences. And that's the thing with AI coming up that can actually shift, modulate. That Mandela effect can happen much more quickly. Just one subtle change can change the meaning of everything. And it's the important thing to keep coming back to first principles, keep coming back to what I've learned, keep coming back to checking in with myself. And practicing this muscle, allowing to move faster and faster and faster, because I don't want to have to keep checking myself over every single little thing. And I do want to check myself for these things. Sometimes it feels like I don't have a partner. And sometimes I feel like my only friend is the city I live in, the city of angels. Lonely as I am, together we cry. And I don't ever want to feel like I did that day and take me to the place I love. Take me all the way. And I don't ever want to feel like I did that day and take me to the place I love and take me all the way. Hey. We had the chance to see them in Barcelona when we first landed way back when, my dear friend Paul and I. And we did not, Paul and I. And I'll always remember that. I think it helped give me a different appreciation for their music. And where would my life have been? Where would it have gone? There's so many things that I didn't say yes to, and it was a reminder, this whole idea of star seeds and everything else, whether it's true or not. What if this is our last go around? What if this is my last choice consciously in the near future, regardless of what it is, of incarnating as a human being? And if that's the case, how do I want to step into this life? What do I want to choose? How do I want to live? And part of it is actually playing with my family, right? It's being able to play in the moments and notice when I'm not in the moment that I want to be. And notice, how do I want to share about my experiences even? Sometimes I don't know how to share like this absolutely phenomenal cosmic capacity, and then I'm stretching and guiding these muscles. Like, I'm just noticing myself. Like this shoulder especially, we needed to open up a little bit more because it's really curled, rotated forward. It's like, how do we actually open things up differently? Part of it is whenever I'm feeling small and scared and ashamed, I'm curling up, making myself smaller instead of opening up myself to life. And then as I opened myself up to life yesterday, I was like, there's just such stuff coming down, receiving. And thank you. Whether it's the Andromedans, whether it's something else, and I don't consciously know what happened. Ashley, am I going to keep saying that? Am I trying to convince me? Am I trying to convince you in the magic mirror work? I'm not sure I remember everything that happened. But I imagine a lot of stuff happened, and I imagine that I'm actually going to remember it. Okay. And I'm going to allow and invite and request this remembrance to continue to take place at the pace it's serving me. Because there's new tools, new abilities, new ways of pausing, new ways of breathing that's coming out. And then noticing, because my head is still not stuck. Notice my head is still returning to the past and events where I feel like I've screwed up. It's like, remember this. And then I was reminded of these moments. One of the ones was when I was in grade 3, getting 78% on a test, and then hiding it behind the couch and being so scared of my parents finding it, so scared of the imperfection, because I was like, anything less than 100% wasn't perfect, wasn't good enough, wasn't reflective of who I'm supposed to be when I'm looking for that external judge, external locus of approval, of control, reminding me of even fast forwarding to Aubrey Marcus and noticing, like, when I'm trying to ask him, what do you see in me? Because I'm really looking for approval, looking for the blessing of the Father. And he's like, I can't give you that. And him catching that, such an advanced move, and really acknowledging that piece, catching that, and then being guided to, okay, all right, that's a remembrance for me. Because I am so patterned in for wanting someone else's approval, blessing, wanting someone else's external test to validate where I'm at relative to everyone else, super comparison. If I can imagine, I can see it too, right? Like, as a system, neither good nor bad, it is one way to sort out people. And is it truly sorting out in the way that we want to? Even the current way of doing the Olympics, like 0.001 seconds gold medal versus silver versus bronze. And as well, how many people are willing to go just that extra length for that extra piece of immortality, so to speak. And how beautiful it is to have these places and spaces of competition alive and well. And I don't have to understand it all. I don't have to be a part of it all. There's a part of me that wants to be the arbiter and the judge of all things, or thinks I want to be the arbiter and judge of all things. It's like, do I really want to? It's like that. It's not really that strange. Everything that's out there, every culture, every piece of dominance, every piece of submission, like there was this like fantasy that I'd have. And they're all fantasies, because it's not reality. I had the fantasy of being an amazing sniper assassin and reshaping the entire world. By being like, I'm going to take this person out, because I know that they're bad. And now recognizing a lot of the people that I would have taken out, I'm like, I don't know. And the people I thought were all good, I'm like, I don't know. And then realizing if that's the case, and I can change my mind like that about people who I see at the extremes, then who do I really know? I'm still discovering and rediscovering myself over and over again. So it's easier now to let go of that fantasy. Like, I love the idea of, like, harm, hurt on another human being, especially death. is really not justifiable except in cases of, whether you want to say extreme self-preservation, but noticing that, like that aggression, like, oh, a preemptive strike, so to speak, especially a preemptive, premeditated strike, and like the Battle of Normandy or things like that, the invasions, all that stuff, and then letting it go because I wasn't there. I'm going to listen, and even if I was there, how many perspectives am I really actually clear on? How do I know when I'm a pawn, whether I'm a peon, whether I'm actually guiding things? And then there's that paradox of choice. Is there actually free will, or is everything happening already? Like, was I already going to be up here on this rooftop balcony? And so everything that happens just a little bit of a joke. And so, okay, there's a little bit of difference between the eyes right now. Yesterday, it's almost like a little bit more like this, but even then there's a difference. And being okay with now there being a difference again. There's a part of me that wanted to be fixed and fixed forever. And I'm like, okay, so now what? Now what? So what if my eyes are symmetrical, my eyelids are symmetrical? Does that suddenly mean I'm a better person? Does that mean I'm awake? It can represent that, but is it that? And part of me going through it yesterday, my brain started telling me, I don't need the session today now. I figured it all out. Like, everything is super clear. It's like, okay, this is the work. Like, how do I actually embody this and bring this back into the 3D world? Remember this in the moments. Actually learn some skills, some techniques, some guidance to be really much more clear with myself, much more clear in my lover energy. And my lover energy, not just in relationship, not just in intimacy, but my lover energy all around. To really own my energetic bubble. Noticing what I'm trying to seek, I'm trying to create the next thing I really want. Like, oh my God, I want to create this ceremony, this ceremony, this ceremony, this ceremony. I want to hold space to this person, this person, this person. I don't think that they're, and then letting go. Because there's a part that wants to justify things. I don't know if you're safe without me there. And there's a part that has to remember how many people are doing all this stuff without me there all the time. All the time. In this moment. And then letting go, because everyone gets to choose for themselves. I can say a few things. I can lay some foundation. I know my capacity. I imagine what I can bring to the table, and then I can let it go. And I can not try to prostrate myself, prostitute myself, so to speak, impose myself on something else. What if it's not by donation? There was something else. What if it's a gift? That's it. I'm willing to do it as a gift, and I have a request for a gift. I'm just noticing, what am I actually okay with? Like, I'm like, I would love to create an experience that's like 10,000 US dollars. If it's actually a gift, then it's freely given. And then just let it go. I'm feeling the tension in my lower gut right now because I can notice myself trying to say the right thing to control it. And then being reminded what is important to say, what is important not to say. Where am I not meeting someone where they're at? Where am I not meeting myself where I'm at? Reminding myself and others, I don't need to control everything. Let's come back to my experience yesterday because I'm trying to get ahead of myself. Let's come back to today as well. So I was able to get in a space where I'm allowing myself to be seen, reminding myself of things that I've learned, my 3 J's, Jerry Sargent, John Demartini, Jack Cruz, learning about the sun, learning about EMF, learning about the pyramids, learning about those giant pillars underneath, and wanting to hear more about it. And also just trusting myself. I've heard enough, all I need to hear. And just tapping and tuning into that, I was like flying. So much energy surging, coursing through this body. So cool. So cool. Being blessed with the frankincense, being blessed with the cedar, being blessed with so many essential oils. Being blessed to be in medicine space, hold medicine space, love medicine space. And remembering the containers of being in the Fit for Service. I really did want to be at that final Fit for Service summit with Aubrey and Vailana. And I know that I could have served. I know that I do serve. I know that I do add. I know that I do contribute. And I know it's important for me just to let go. So what? So what, right? Money, power. Sometimes when I hear about money, I'm like, why? I want, and just keep noticing it. Right now, instead of trying to change that, it's just to notice the I wants that come out. I'm grateful. Today is going to be a wunderbar day, an awesome day. I'm a genius and I apply my wisdom. I have an audiographic, photographic mind. Whatever I truly want to learn, I've got it for life. I feel to heal. Everything is a story. I always have a choice. The only constant is change. I do what I love, and I love what I do. Wisdom is the instantaneous recognition that crisis is a blessing. It's 44 minutes in, so it's probably around 7:15 to 7:30 right now. It's cloudy skies today. It's going to be some rain. It's going to be wet-ish. I was debating whether to fast. It's like, do I need food anymore? Am I building up everything I need to build up from just being in an energetic space, being in the sun? And I definitely didn't drink any fluids for a while. I let myself really sit and it land without trying to land. And that was powerful, that was useful, and that was really relaxing as well. I was really grateful. And it's a reminder for me, don't plan anything else on the day of. Like, this is a powerful day. I'm going to be most likely tired afterwards, and having the space to integrate. I'm just trying to imagine the other messages I had, like gold, frankincense, and myrrh, all the things that 3 wise men brought according to the story, and there's probably more, but there's a piece there where it felt so good and so wise and so freeing. And then reminding myself I've got these gold buffaloes, and it's all coming back to that buffalo, my own birthplace. And then looking at human design and what channels are open in my body, what channels are open in this manifesting generator, and just trusting it. All these different ways of seeing myself, all these different ways of seeing my values, all these different ways of seeing the values of others. How do I make sure the time that we're using is the most valuable thing? And sometimes we're remembering and sometimes we're forgetting. Sometimes I'm remembering, sometimes I'm forgetting. Even the to-dos, the places to get to. The conversations I'm having, the conversations I'm not having. How do I work with amazing people, not try to hold on to them, not try to control the whole experience? There's a part of it letting go. There's a part of it letting go in the referrals. There's a part of it letting go in that too. And there's a part of it owning the experience I'm trying to create, not just for myself, but for others. Like, there's a specificity in what I'm trying to create without trying to control it all. And that's a piece to notice. How do I do both? There's a piece that's missing, it feels right now, in my ability to bring people in. In my sharing of things. I'm gonna open up my computer while I'm doing all this because there's a piece I want to get started on it. I want it to get started on exporting all these videos. Oh, it is definitely much brighter outside now. Turning on the computer, first of all, would be a good step. It would be a useful step. I don't actually know if I turned off I think it was still in airplane mode. It's okay. It's okay either way. How about I pause this right now, take a second, regroup, and come back to some more magic mirror work. Love you. Ciao for now.